Today, we are going to be writing equations for linear functions. I want you to draw a small little graph up here that looks like this. That little kind of graphic helps us understand what kind of slope we have, You can have positive slope. You can have negative slope. You can also have slope that is 0. And anybody know what the slope is if you have a vertical line?
0.
It's undefined. Very good. So, as we look at that situation, if it's 0, it ends up being y equals some number for an equation. And if it's undefined, a vertical line ends up being x equals some number for an answer. So, I'm going to go ahead and write an equation for these lines in slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. We talked about that yesterday. M is the slope, b is the y-intercept. So in order to calculate the slope, I look from one point to another point. So what is the rise to get from that point to that point? It is 3, and the run is 4. So it's 3 over 4x. And then the y-intercept is 3. That's where it crosses the y-axis right there, so plus 3. How about the next one? Y equals? Looks like I go down 4. I'm sorry, I go down 3 and over 2. So negative 3 over 2. And then the intercept is 2, so plus 2. Next one is y equals, I go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I go up 5 and over 3. And it looks like it crosses through negative 2. So what's different about the next one? It's a vertical line. Vertical line, the slope is undefined. Look at the points that it passes through. It has x values and it has y values. Which ones stay the same, the x's or the y's? The x's stay the same. X equals what? 2. That's the equation for that line because the x values always stay the same. And for the next one, it's y equals, what do you think is always the y value for that one? It's always 3. Excellent work. So, you've learned how to write an equation for a line by looking at a graph. Let's learn how to write an equation for a line in a different way. First, I need to expose you to 2 different formulas. We have what's called point-slope form, and we have a slope formula. I would like to just take a second and show you where one comes from. My guess is that you always remember this one, right? Slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I see Maya nodding. Yeah? Watch this, folks. Okay, so I wrote the formula for slope, right? The only thing I didn't write were the 2's, correct? Watch what happens when I cross multiply. 1 times that is y minus y1. If I take that and multiply m, I get m times x minus x1. Isn't that point-slope form? It is. So point-slope form, this guy right here comes right from your slope formula. When you know one, you know the other. What is point-slope form? Point-slope form tells you a point. The point is x1, y1. And the slope is m. Notice the slope is here. And then the point is the x value is here and the y value is here. So before we can write equations for lines, we need to understand how to identify the point and the slope by looking at it. Looking at this equation, can you tell what the slope is? It is 3. It's that number right there. The point, I need an x value and a y value for what it passes through. What do you think? 2 and 4. Now, a lot of people say -2 and -4. You're correct that you're subtracting the 2 and the 4, but it's always the number you're subtracting, so it's opposite what you think. It's not -2 and -4, it's +2 and +4. So let's try a couple more. What do you think the slope is here? Yep, -3/2. For the point, what do you think is the x value, and what do you think is the y value? The y value is -9, it's opposite of what you think, and the y value is 6. The next one, the slope is 1/3, and the point, -10 and -5. Good. Yep, -10 for the x, -5 for the y. This one looks a little tricky. Let's try the slope first. The number in front of the x? 5. The point, you don't have anything being subtracted for the x. For the y, you have 1, so 0, 1. If you try the last two on your own, try the last two on your own. Go. All right, for this fifth problem, I have the slope as -3, and I have the point as +4, -2. And for the last one, slope is 5/7. The x value would be -8, and the y value would be 0. Are there any questions to that? Went once, twice, thrice. Then let's go about our objective. It says write an equation for a line that has the given slope and passes through the given point. First, write the equation point-slope form, then put it into slope-intercept form and graph the line. Sounds like a lot of work, but it's going to be no big deal. I write y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. I will give you that on the test. So, if it has a slope of 5 and it passes through the point 3, 4, where does the 5 go? Where does the 3 go? And where does the 4 go? So y minus 4 equals 5 times x minus 3. That's point-slope form. You want to turn it into slope-intercept form and graph it. So y minus 4 is equal to, what should I do with that 5? Distribute the 5 through, and I get 5x minus 15. Now add the 4 to both sides. Y is 5x minus 11. So we just wrote an equation for a line that has those qualities. 5x minus 11. If you wanted to graph that, you could plot a y-intercept of -11. I'm just going to estimate it's about down there. Then to get your next point, we can rise 5 and run 1. Rise 5 to 6 and run 1. Rise 5 and run 1. Rise 5 and run 1. Not too bad. All right. Let's change it up a little bit. Y minus what? 2 equals 1/2 times x plus 6. Excellent work. Now I can generate my equation for my line. Y minus 2 is, I have 1/2 times x is 1/2 x And 1/2 times 6 is 3. If I add the 2 to both sides, I get y is 1/2 x plus 5. So it appears, from what I'm doing right here, I have a positive 5 and 1/2 x. That means I rise 1 and I run 2. Rise 1 and run 2. So how can I check my answer? This line is supposed to pass through what point? Does it pass through -6, +2? Yeah, it does. Yep. Look at that. 2 more. What's different about problem number 4? Yeah, it gives you 2 points, and we got to come up with that slope. So in order to write equation, you need slope, and you need a point. Every single time, slope and point, slope and point. Here you get 2 points. You get to choose which point you want to use. Maya, which point do you want to use? Maya gets to choose 3, 4. So now, and it doesn't matter. If you chose the other one, you're going to come up with the same answer. It says slope is y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. That's our formula for slope. You've seen that before. With our points, the first point is x1, y1, and the second point is x2, y2. So, if I try to find the slope, how's it going to set up? M is equal to what? 10 minus 4 over 5 minus 3. What do I get? I get 6 over 2, which is a little 3. Do I now have enough information to put it in point slope form? Y minus 4 equals 3 times x So if I want to put that into slope-intercept form, I've got to distribute that 3 to get y minus 4 equals 3x minus 9. Add that 4. Y is 3x minus 5. Can you graph that? Sure looks like it goes through the 0.34. Looks like it's going to go through 510. You try the last one on your own. And after you do the last one, check with your partner. See if you come up with what they got. All right, let's check out and see where you got, okay? Aaliyah, what point did you check? Did you choose to use -4, 3 or -6, 4? You choose whatever you want. Okay, so we're going to try -4, +3. Now, no matter what, when you set up your slope, you should have 4 minus 3 over -6 minus -4. Now, this is a little bit more challenging because we got some negatives involved. Notice how you get a 1 on the top, and then you add the opposite on the bottom, you get that -2. So that means a slope of -1/2. So everybody should have -1/2 for a slope, and if you want to choose -6, 4 instead of -4, 3, you can. But either way, when we set it up, y minus 3 equals -1/2 times x, and it will be a +4. When you distribute, y minus 3 equals -1/2 x, And negative 1/2 times positive 4 is negative 2. Add the 3, we get y is negative 1/2 x plus 1. Now again, a lot of people wonder, did you do it correctly? Well, when you sketch the graph, we go up to positive 1. We have that slope of negative 1/2, down 1 and over 2. And when you draw the line, does it look like you would go through negative 6,4 to go back 6? Yeah, it looks like it would go through there. Okay? I didn't draw a perfect line, but, it looks reasonable. Looks like I did a pretty good job. So you're set to work on that next worksheet. You've got 21 minutes, which is almost half of class.